being a Boy Scout is traumatizing. Fuck, I can't believe this actually fits. Let's talk about the Boy Scouts of America. In other countries, you may have other scouting organizations. Boy Scouts actually started in England. Yes, they're actually British. But you see, the difference is in America, they actually give teenagers guns. American Boy Scouts is basically Lord of the Flies in the forest with a bunch of teenage psychopaths. Let me tell you about Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts is traumatizing. Boy Scouts is where boys go to learn how to become men through trauma. You may learn some useful skills like knot tying and cooking, but other useful skills like escaping death from teenage psychopaths in the woods. Summer camp was actually a lot of fun because there was no adult supervision. Basically, adults would drive us into camp and they would just leave us there. Now, we did have one, in my particular troop, we did have one adult who was basically a kid. Yeah. We basically became like a paramilitary unit in this one. I was a patrol leader. And I was kind of a hard ass on a lot of my scouts. I did the best I could, and thankfully, I was not molested. The upside to not having real adults at the camp is the fact that I did not get molested. However, if it happened at summer camp, it doesn't necessarily mean it's gay. It's just actually pretty gay. You know, it actually is kind of gay. Look, whatever happens at summer camp stays at summer camp. That is the unspoken rule. I will not snitch on any of the homies. Summer camp is hot, sweaty, and you get swamp ass. It's like being in a sauna, but with no relief. We were at this one summer camp in Virginia, and it was so hot that, like, I'm pretty sure some kids, like, died. Some kids got, like, sent to the hospital because of, like, heat exhaustion. It was that bad. It was just disgusting. You will not believe how feral teenagers will become in the woods left to their own devices. Kids are fucking brutal. I never bullied anyone, but there's this one kid that sounded like Kermit. And they called him Kermit the entire time, even though he hated that. Understandably. I would hate that. It didn't happen to the Kermit kid. There was also the peanut butter kid. Now, the peanut butter kid wasn't like made of peanut butter or anything. He just had a peanut butter allergy, but he ruined the dining hall for like literally everyone at camp. He had such an allergic reaction to peanut butter, you cannot exist in the same room with peanut butter with him, or else he would die. And I'm gonna be honest, why would you come to summer camp? I fucking love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No one was happy about this. The scouts were mad about it, and even the staff were mad about it. I remember specifically, there was the hentai tent kid. This kid had his own tent, because no one else would want to bunk with him. And you could hear hentai blasting in from the fucking flaps of the tent. That is when I knew that anime must be destroyed at all costs. It was like a river expedition boat, like in a bay in like Virginia. And it was fun, just being on a boat for like a week. Another time we had a thing called COPE, which is like a team building thing for me being a patrol leader. And for this exercise, this is actually pretty fun because I learned how to be a leader. We were assigned a tire, and this tire basically became our friend. It was a sentient tire that we were supposed to treat like an actual human being. Now, we'd have to roll it places. And a tire, an actual car tire, is pretty heavy. So you can't just pick it up. You have to roll it places, and that takes a while. If we're at a summer camp in the middle of the woods, with dirt roads in between, it's really hard to roll around. But we did it. One night, the tire got stolen by some of the staff. So we had to fucking plan a heist to steal the tire back. We stole our friend back. And that's how I became a leader. Let's talk about winter camp, because winter camp was not organized at all. Winter camp was organized by us, and we would have our own activities. We played Capture the Flag, which we probably took way too seriously. Basically, we would have two mountains by ourselves. This is like in the middle of nowhere. In between the two mountains was a no man's land. Now, if you know about Capture the Flag, you have a flag on each base, and each base has a jail, and there's no man's land between. You have to capture the flag. That's the point of the game. Now, I always chose the best people. There was always a divide between the older kids like myself and the younger kids. Now, I always chose the best older kids because, frankly, the younger kids are kind of useless. So I chose this one guy who was basically a sniper with snowballs, and he would just fucking pelt kids with a fucking snowball. And it was fucking glorious. He would take a snowball, fling it like a football field across, and then you just hear a little kid start crying because he got pelted in the face with a snowball. We took this way too seriously. There was this other kid with a Finnish army snow cloak. And I had him in the tree. I put him up in the trees, so that way he would not be seen. He would descend from the fucking trees and just pick up a little child, and honestly could just never see them again. I may have taken this too far in a few places. So yeah, actually, Boy Scouts was fun, even if it was traumatizing. I just want to say I was not molested.